Hey ladies! So now that we've talked about skincare, I am going to move on to foundation. And honestly, the foundation is the reason that I joined Younique because it was the first foundation that I put on my face that didn't feel cakey and it didn't make me want to itch it right off. So that's why I joined. I am a discount girl. I don't like paying full price for things. I do love helping my friends who are in direct sales. So I understand that side of things, but that's why I joined. I wanted the discount and I figured I love this foundation. I'm probably going to be using it for the rest of my life, so why not? So before I begin, I just want to tell you a little bit about primer. Those of you that have never used primer before, let me just tell you real quick what it's for. Primer is a lot like it says, just like if you were to paint a wall, you would prime it first. And that's so that you don't have to use as much paint and so that everything, all of the paint that you put on goes on evenly. So I've already applied primer to half my face, and I'm not going to tell you which half I've applied it to. Hopefully by the end of the video, you'll be able to tell. So what am I doing with these markers? Well, I want to show you just how well Younique covers and does a good job covering your skin. So I'm gonna put permanent marker on my face and I'm gonna show you just how well it goes on. And I will say that it is a very lightweight formula. So if you're worried about it feeling thick, it does not. It's a liquid and it goes on very smooth. We do have 4 different kinds of foundation that you can choose from. We have my favorite, which is the Mineral Liquid Touch. And then we also have a pressed powder and a cream powder, and then our BB cream, which is basically like a tinted moisturizer. So if you like something that is just light, fresh, you're going to apply it to your face and go, then that's fine. For our liquid touch, what you want to do is you want to make sure to shake it real good because you've got a lot of different goodies inside of there. And so you want to make sure that it's shaken real well. So you're going to tap it on your hand just for about 10 seconds or so. One quick tip that I didn't mention already is that with your primer, you want to make sure that you let it set on your face for 5 minutes before you apply the rest of your makeup. So what I usually do is I put my foundation, or I put my moisturizer on, and then I put my primer on, and then I go get dressed and answer, 20 questions from my children, and then I'm usually ready to put on my foundation. So how you apply makeup, I have probably already said it before in this class. There are no rules with makeup, okay? It's about what makes you feel comfortable, how you feel comfortable doing it, and there's no rules when it comes to makeup. Now, there are tips and tricks, okay? So there are tips and tricks to help you out, but ultimately there are no rules. So what I like to do is I like to take the little dropper and I just put a little on my ring finger, and then I apply it across my face there. Then I do another little drop, and I go down my nose, and then I do another little drop across my cheek, across the other cheek, on the chin, and then anything that's remaining, I just kind of place wherever I need it. Then when I'm all done, you want to make sure that you squeeze out any foundation that's left in the dropper. Otherwise, it's not going to get mixed when you go to mix it the next day. And then secure it on tight. As far as applying it to your face, again, no rules. Whatever makes you feel most comfortable. Some people like to use their fingers to apply. I don't like the oils that are on my fingers. I don't want to put that in my face. Some people like a brush, and a brush is going to give you a brushed look, and you just need a brush that's compact, that has the tight bristles. So Younique does have a foundation brush, but again, any brush that has the tightness can be used. And this one's kind of cool because it's got this little well that you could put your foundation in. Again, I like to use my fingers to put it on. That's just my preference. So you can also use a blending bud, and you just have to get it wet, and then you can use one of those. I've just recently discovered one of these little doohickeys, and I kind of like it. So that's what I'm going to be using today, just to kind of show you how I apply my foundation. So this is just a silicone sponge, and I start at the top here, and I blend out. And I think I like this one the most because I don't have to use as much foundation. It's not getting stuck inside a brush. And it's super easy to clean. So let's face it, yay. So you can already see that the permanent marker is starting to fade. Now, again, no rules. Another thing with foundation is that you do not need to apply it all over your face. Okay, you do not need to apply it all over your face. So why do you do it, Rachel? Well, honestly, I'm a creature of habit, and it's what I've always done. It's what makes me feel put together, makes me feel confident. But for some people, all they need is a little makeup under the eyes, and they're good to go. Maybe they want a little bit on their chin. There's some discoloration there, and that's what helps them. So again, it's really all about what your preference is. Now, this is the first time I've used this little doohickey with the permanent marker. So I'm probably going to break out my brush just to really blend in, to show you that the foundation can indeed cover the permanent marker. So let me break out my brush here. And I'm going to look in my mirror here just because it's a little easier for me to see and show you. That it covers. And the great thing too about our foundation is that it is buildable. So if you do have a blemish or discolorations, then you can get more product and blend it on as you need. So that's the great thing about it, is that it is completely blendable, or buildable is what I meant to say. I got a little bit left on my nose, so I'm going to put just a little bit more there. Cover that up. And remember, I only have primer on one half of my face. So your goal or your task is to figure out which side I have the primer on. And I'll also be doing some before and afters to show you throughout the day, because that's the other thing primer does, is it keeps your makeup lasting all day long. Because what happens is your makeup will settle into your lines and your face, and when you have primer, it doesn't do that. So I definitely want to keep this under 10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you were doing, I do concealer. If you wanted to see a highlight and contour, let me know. I'd love to do a class where I show you the highlighting and contouring. And I tend to use my Beauty Bud for that. It just presses the product in more to my skin versus the brush or the sponge. This leaves it more of a lighter application. I hope those answered some of the questions that you have about the foundation. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I'll get a little bit closer so you can see. You can guess which side I have primer on and which one I don't. All right, I'll talk to you girls later. Bye.